Imagine this. You're sitting in church, tired after a long day. The sermon stretches on and on and on. Your eyes grow heavy. Your head nods. Suddenly, thud, you've fallen asleep and out a third-story window. Sounds absurd, right? But this isn't fiction. This is the wild, true story of Eutychus, a man who literally slept through a miracle. It's the year AD 57. The Apostle Paul is on his third missionary journey. He's in Troas, a bustling port city in modern-day Turkey. The local church gathers on Sunday night to worship, break bread, and hear Paul teach. But there's a problem. Paul really loves to preach. The Bible says he spoke until midnight. Acts 20, verse 7. That's not a metaphor. He literally preached from sunset until the clock struck 12. Now, picture yourself in that room. Candles flicker. The air is thick with sweat and incense. You're crammed shoulder to shoulder with fellow believers, all desperate to soak in Paul's wisdom. Among them is a young man named Eutychus. He's tired, exhausted even. Maybe he worked all day. Maybe he's just a teenager battling sleep. Either way, as Paul's voice drones on, Eutychus's eyelids droop. His chin hits his chest. And then, the fall. He's sitting near an open window on the third floor. A gust of wind blows. His body tilts. And before anyone can react, he falls. The Bible doesn't sugarcoat it. Acts 29 says, "A young man named Eutychus was sitting in a window. He was overcome by deep sleep. And as Paul kept on talking, he sank into a deep sleep and fell down from the third floor and was picked up dead." Dead. Gone. Lifeless. Can you imagine the panic, the screams, the crowd rushing downstairs to find Eutychus's body sprawled in the courtyard? The air would have been electric with horror. "He's gone! We lost him!" someone must have cried. But then, Paul arrives. Paul pushes through the crowd, kneels beside Eutychus, and does something shocking. He doesn't pray for hours. He doesn't call for help. No. Acts 20:10 says, Paul went down, threw himself upon him, and said, "Do not be alarmed, for his life is in him." And just like that, Eutychus wakes up. The room erupts. Laughter, tears, hugs. Someone probably pinches themselves to make sure they're not dreaming. Meanwhile, Paul, he doesn't stop there. Verse 11 says, "Then Paul went upstairs again and broke bread and ate. After talking a long while until daybreak, he departed." Wait, Paul ate dinner and kept preaching, while everyone else is reeling from a resurrection? That's Paul in a nutshell. Part prophet, part unstoppable force of nature. This story teaches us 3 lessons. First, God works through imperfection. Paul preached too long. Eutychus fell asleep. The church met at midnight, probably not the best time for focus. But despite all that, God showed up. He didn't say, "Sorry guys, you messed up the vibe." He used their mess to display his glory. Second, spiritual complacency is dangerous. Eutychus wasn't just tired, he was spiritually asleep. And that sleep almost cost him his life. Sound familiar? How many of us drift through worship, distracted by work, worries, or our phones? The message is clear. Stay alert. God's doing something powerful. Don't miss it. Third, resurrection power is still real. Jesus said in John 11:25, "I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live." Eutychus got a taste of that promise. And so can we. Whether it's physical death or the dead parts of our lives, broken relationships, lost hope, empty dreams, Jesus can breathe life into the graveyard.